Hi there. Today in class, I did a workshop on writing introductions and conclusions, and I wanted to go over that in case you were absent or in case you needed a refresher. So I said that I had the charge to, in 5 days, get 11 students to pass the OGT, and I came up with a picture outline that worked, and all 11 of them passed. So it's in the shape of a house, and it just helps you remember how many sentences you need. So not at all to undermine you or belittle you, just to help you have a start, because a lot of people don't want to write all those Roman numerals and stuff. So the first paragraph is the introduction, and it looks like a roof of a house. And so you can see here that that is Roman numeral 1. This is hard to do backwards. Roman numeral 1, which is the introduction, and A is the lead that hooks the audience's attention. So we're writing a letter, and so it would be a quote, a statistic, a story. I'm suggesting that you look up a quote. Just Google the saying quotes about um, whatever your topic is. So, quotes about homelessness, quotes about equality. A lot of you have equality. And then you can't quote yourself, so it has to be by somebody else. The second thing is the link. That's background information. Sometimes it describes the lead, and sometimes it describes the thesis. And then C is the thesis, and that's the most important thing in the sentence. So we planned it upside down today. This is just an outline, so we planned it upside down. We wrote the thesis first. And so we started with our organization. So, for example, the Red Cross or whatever your group is, then add a verb. So what their, like, you could say what their mission is. Like you could say the Red Cross's mission. That would be CROSS apostrophe S. So it's possessive. The Red Cross's mission is, or you could say the Red Cross advocates for, or the Red Cross supports, something that shows what they do. And then finally who it is that they support or advocate for, or whoever they're concerned about. So the Red Cross, um, we could do the Red Cross supports people in need from natural disasters, such as colon. You want a colon, which is a dot dot. Can I get you in there? Dot dot. Okay, so it's the two dots above each other. That's a colon. It means here comes a list. And then three things. So if we were talking about the Red Cross, we might talk about three natural disasters like hurricanes, tornadoes, and fire. Or you could say the Red Cross supports the following kind of people. Um, just three things. So a colon and three things. And those three things are going to map out your body paragraphs, which are windows. On the diagram that I gave you, you aren't going to worry about that first top left window right now. We will come back to that. And I made a note on there. Don't worry about that right now. So you'll be planning three windows. Whatever the list is, that's the order that you will write in. So if we said tornadoes, hurricanes, and fires, then our first body paragraph would be tornadoes. Our second body paragraph would be hurricanes, and our last body paragraph would be fires. So the divided thesis plans out your body paragraphs and helps you to not have writer's block. But all we're doing today is just the introduction and the conclusion. And then the conclusion um, is a door, and it is Roman numeral 3. Oh my goodness, Roman numeral 3, and it mirrors the shape of the roof. So they're both in a triangle to remind you that the roof and the door, or the introduction and conclusion, are similar. I think of the introduction and conclusion like a bow, and it's wrapping up the present, which is the body paragraphs. They mirror each other. Okay, so we'll come back to that. So we're going to write from the bottom up. So we already wrote the thesis. And then after we get that done, so it's your organization, a verb, a colon, and three ways that they support that idea. Okay. If it was education, maybe people were building schools, uh, paying for the salary for teachers, and buying books. Those would be 3 paragraphs you would talk about. Okay. And then we're going to write from the bottom up. So our B is going to answer the questions when and why. When was your organization founded, and why was it started? Now, you won't want to have the noun in B and C. So you wouldn't want to say the Red Cross, the Red Cross. In B, you could say the Red Cross, and in C, you could say this organization. Okay, then going up to A, you're just going to Google a quote about equality, something like that, or the elderly, or being humane, being a good citizen, whatever. A quote that goes with the idea of your organization. Once you get that done, and you're just planning it today, then you go to your conclusion. And your A is going to refer to the link. So if you have a quote in your A of your introduction, you will have a quote in your conclusion for the A, 3A. So you might say, let's remember, and say the author's name. So, for example, let's say, let's remember what Maya Angelou stated when she said, comma, quotation. Or probably don't want to have stated instead both, but that's the idea. Let's remember what Maya Angelou stated, comma, quotation, and say it again. Then you'll restate your thesis. So you can say therefore, comma, say the thesis again. You don't have to do anything from because and on. So just end it with the verb. And then C, this is a letter, so you want to ask the person you're writing to, whether that be the president, the vice president, Congress, the superintendent of our schools, the principals of our schools, maybe it's the administration of other schools, maybe it's an organization that you want to get more involved in our state, a national organization, you want them to get more involved in our state. Maybe it's our mayor of Cincinnati or the governor of Ohio. Who are you going to write to? And then ask that person to do something, whether it be put their money behind it or use their voice, their fame to get the word out. Ask them to do something for you. And then you would sign it sincerely or respectfully, comma, and your name. So that was all we did today, was just the introduction and the conclusion. I hope that helped.